I want to be financially free by 45, meaning I have enough invested that I could technically retire at that moment, live off my investments, and never have to worry about running out of money. It's a dream that a lot of people have, and in this video, I want to walk through the exact step by step process that I'm following to make that dream happen. If I can become financially free by 45, that would buy me back 15 years of my life where I could wake up and do exactly what I want to do every single day. Most people will work a job they may not even like until they're 60 years old or even older. And by that point, a lot of your best years are already behind you. Your energy is different, your body feels different, and you simply don't have the same freedom that you had when you were younger. I want a different life later on, and I'm willing to make sacrifices now if that means creating more freedom in the future. It's called delayed gratification, and I'm all about it. I also want this video to inspire people who have the same dream that I do, because I know I'm not the only one who looks at the traditional path of working a 9 to 5 for 40 years and then riding off in the sunset. I believe there can be another way. I'm 27 years old right now, and over the last few years, I've become completely obsessed with learning about investing, personal finance, and figuring out how to make my money work as hard as possible for me. So, in this video, I want to break down my actual plan to become financially free by 45. I'll walk through my realistic strategy built around increasing my income, maxing out my retirement accounts, simplifying my investments through ETFs, keeping my lifestyle costs under control, and letting compounding interest do the heavy lifting for me over the next couple of decades. Let's get into it. One of the first things I had to accept is that becoming financially free looks different for everyone because everyone lives a different lifestyle and everyone has different expenses. One person might be perfectly happy living in a small town with a paid off house and a simple lifestyle, maybe living on a farm or some shit like that, while someone else wants a bigger house, expensive travel, and a lot more spending for their life. So your financial freedom number is not going to be the same as mine, and mine won't be the same as yours. I also think the internet overcomplicates this stuff. People always want to know the secret sauce. Is there some crazy investing strategy? Some hidden side hustle nobody talks about? Some magic stock that's going to change your life overnight? And the answer is no, not really. Wealth building comes from years of putting in the work. Income minus your expenses, multiplied over time, while consistently investing your money. That's basically it. It sounds simple, but simple doesn't always mean easy. And if you're trying to become financially free early, especially by 45 like I'm trying to do, your income's going to matter a lot. There really is a ceiling on how much you can cut expenses, but there isn't really a ceiling on increasing your income. And there's probably no better time to focus on that than your 20s and 30s. You can develop valuable skills, you can switch companies, negotiate for better raises, build side income, create online content, whatever the hell you want. You could start something of your own. And this applies to almost every profession. Let's say you're a teacher. Maybe that means earning additional certifications, becoming a lead, coaching sports, tutoring students. You could create educational content online. Let's say you're a nurse. Maybe you do travel nursing. You could specialize in a higher paying field. You could work overtime shifts. Let's say you work in sales. Maybe you could improve your skills and move into larger accounts or higher paid positions. Or if you're an engineer like I am, maybe you ask to pick up harder projects and work towards getting a promotion. Maybe you could go for your PE. You could job hop. These are just the thoughts that are coming to my head right now, but I wanted to at least give y'all real practical examples here on how to increase your income for your career. For those people in the trades, maybe you could pick up extra shifts. You could work towards developing your own business. Hell, you could even start a YouTube channel documenting a valuable trade skill or a project around the house. I don't really know, but you could think of anything. But the point here is that you have to have the mindset of working towards increasing your income and then using that extra money to invest. That'll get you to your financial freedom quicker. For me personally, becoming an engineer was one of the biggest financial decisions that I ever made, and probably one of the best financial decisions I've ever made. Your career income has a massive impact on how quickly you can build wealth because your investments are fueled by your savings rate. I think too many people just accept the reality instead of trying to change it. Don't sit back and cope about it, go do something about it. Staying at the same income level in your 20s and never trying to level up is like voluntarily playing Call of Duty campaign on the hardest difficulty. Can you still beat it? Yeah. But why make it harder than it needs to be? Put in the work now for extraordinary results later. So the first part of my plan is pretty simple. I'm going to continue increasing my income as much as I can because more money invested today means more choices, more flexibility, and ultimately more control over my future. The second part of my plan to become financially free by 45 is that I'm focusing heavily on retirement accounts because this is one of the biggest wealth building cheat codes available. I don't want to ignore these accounts in my 20s because a lot of them come with massive tax advantages, and over a long timeline, those benefits can save you an insane amount of money. When I first started learning about personal finance, I used to think investing was just opening a taxable brokerage account and buying individual stocks. But then I realized these special retirement accounts are designed to help you build wealth quicker. You can save a ridiculous amount of money over time simply because of the tax benefits. For example, my employer offers both a traditional pre-tax 401k and a Roth 401k. And on top of that, they match 6%. So yeah, I'm absolutely taking advantage of that, no matter which option I choose, because I'm getting tax benefits and free money through the match. If you want a deeper breakdown on the traditional versus Roth accounts, I made an investing 101 video where I go into all that detail, so go check that out. But for the sake of this video, just know that I'm utilizing this account heavily, and a large portion of my net worth has already been built through my 401k. Then I also love investing in the Roth IRA, where I'm investing post tax dollars today, but all that money gets to grow tax free over time. Think about that for a second. Imagine investing consistently for 20 years, watching that account potentially grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars or even $1 million, and then not owing taxes on any of those gains. That's pretty overpowered if you ask me, which is why it's another major pillar in my plan towards financial freedom. I also think retirement accounts naturally force good behavior. Once the money automatically leaves your paycheck and you know you really shouldn't touch it until you're older, it builds discipline around money even without you thinking about it. It keeps lifestyle inflation in check simply because you never see all of that money sitting in your checking account waiting to be spent on random shit. If you make $6,000 a month and automatically invest $1,500 into retirement accounts, eventually you stop thinking that you make 6 grand a month. Your life and your lifestyle spend adjust around the $4,500 that's left. Your spending habits will adapt, your expectations will change, and it helps keep you out of trouble financially. Here's my goal with retirement accounts. I want to keep maxing these out as aggressively as I can while I'm young because I understand what these dollars are actually buying me. They're buying back years of my life. At the same time, I also want to build up my brokerage account and cash savings so I can potentially retire early around 45 or 50 and live off more liquid investments before I ever touch retirement money. But having the peace of mind knowing I could have already had millions sitting in retirement accounts by that point would be huge. If I hit my goal of becoming financially free by 45, I don't just want the flexibility today, I want the security for the rest of my life too. The next big pillar in my plan is simplifying my investments through investing in ETFs. The more I've learned about investing over the years, the more I've realized I don't want building wealth to feel complicated. I don't want to spend every day staring at stock charts, reading earnings reports, trying to predict which company is going to explode next, or stressing over whether I should buy or sell something. I want investing to be boring and something that I don't have to think about all the time. When I first got interested in investing, I thought I needed to find the next big winner. I thought successful investors were people buying individual stocks and somehow outsmarting the market. And I think social media makes this even worse because everyone online seems to have some stock that's supposedly gone up to 500% or some investment opportunity that's changing their life. But after spending the last few years learning about investing, I realized something. Most people are not consistently beating the market over long periods of time. And when I say the market, I'm talking about the S&P 500. Even a lot of professional fund managers struggle to do that. Most people are better off investing in a few ETFs and simplifying their investment portfolio. So instead of trying to be the smartest guy in the room, I'd rather focus on being the most consistent and disciplined investor. That's why most of my investing strategy revolves around ETFs. With one purchase, I can own hundreds or even thousands of companies all at once, getting my instant diversification within that sector of ETF that I'm buying. I'm not betting my future on one company doing well. I'm betting on the overall growth of the United States economy and specific sectors within the economy, such as tech and well established blue chip companies. One of the biggest reasons I love ETFs is that they remove a lot of emotion from investing. Emotions can destroy people financially so fast it's not even funny. People panic when markets drop and throw out all of their investing strategies quicker than Usain Bolt running the 100-meter dash. On the flip side, people also get greedy when markets go up. People will chase the hype stock. I know myself because I've done this before. However, now I know that I'm not smarter than the market, and I don't need to be built different to be wealthy over a long period of time and eventually become financially free. I'm perfectly okay admitting that. For me, investing isn't about trying to hit home runs or hit that grand slam. I'm trying to hit singles over and over again for 20 years straight and remain on base. Becoming financially free by 45 is going to happen because I consistently bought ETFs every month, I kept investing through good and bad markets, and I stayed disciplined while everyone else got distracted. The next big part of my plan is keeping my lifestyle costs under control. I think lifestyle inflation quietly destroys so much wealth for people. And the scary part is, it usually doesn't happen all at once. Nobody wakes up one morning and decides they want to sabotage their finances and nuke their chances at an early retirement. It happens slowly. You might get a raise, so you go on a 3-month spending spree. Then you upgrade stuff around the house. Then your monthly payments get bigger. Your expectations of living rise. Before you know it, you make twice as much money as you did 5 years ago, but somehow still feel just as broke and you feel like you're living paycheck to paycheck. This is one of the biggest traps high income earners fall into. Making more money doesn't automatically create wealth. Plenty of people make 6 figures and still live paycheck to paycheck. That sounds crazy until you realize someone can make $150,000 a year and have this giant mortgage payment, expensive car payment, credit card debt, and a lifestyle that's slowly expanded that eats away at every dollar they make. Every time you permanently increase your lifestyle, you're also increasing the amount of money required for you to become financially free. And don't get me wrong, I'm still enjoying my life in my 20s. I'm not saying never enjoy your money, never travel, never buy things that you care about. Hell, I just got back from golfing 18 holes, and then I'm recording this video. I had a great time today. That was about 5 hours of fun golf. I still want to continue to enjoy my life in the 20s, and I want you to do the same as well. I'm just going to be more cognizant about my purchases because I do have a big ambitious goal of becoming financially free by 45. So my goal isn't necessarily to keep my lifestyle cheap forever. My goal is to keep it reasonable while I'm in this wealth accumulation phase of my life. At the end of the day, I ain't trying to look as rich as I can at 27. I think a way bigger flex would be having the ability to stop working a corporate job at 45 because I have so much money in investments that now I can do whatever the fuck I want to do and not have to worry about another dollar in my life. That is the ultimate financial goal for me, and I'm not going to let my lifestyle costs get in the way of that. The last part of my plan is utilizing compounding interest to its fullest advantage. If income is the fuel to the investments that I talked about earlier in the video, retirement accounts are the tax advantages that'll get me there faster, ETFs are the system in which my investments are growing, and controlling my lifestyle is the protection for my savings rate, then that means compounding interest is the engine that makes the whole thing work. Compounding interest is the heartbeat to this whole operation, and without it, none of this would be possible. I don't know if there's any Philadelphia 76ers fans watching me, but this is like the trust the process part of the journey towards building financial freedom. Except I'm not going to be a flopper like Joel Embiid or get hurt or choke in the playoffs. But yeah, in the beginning, wealth building feels slow, like painfully slow. You're going to invest a few $1,000s and see nothing. You'll check your account, maybe it went up a little, maybe it went down a little, and it feels like you're making no progress at all. You put in all this effort and your investments barely seem to move. This is where 90% of people are going to quit and won't have the end in mind. Humans are naturally wired to want immediate results. We go to the gym and want an immediate 6-pack abs in 2 weeks. We start a diet and we want to see weight changes immediately. We start investing and we secretly expect our money to double overnight. But wealth building doesn't work like that. The first few years are usually the hardest because you're doing almost all the work yourself and it requires an elite level of discipline. Early on, your paycheck is carrying the team. You're the one putting money into investments every month. You're the one working overtime, increasing your income, making sacrifices, staying disciplined. But then something really interesting starts to happen after enough time passes. Your money starts earning money for you. Your money is literally working for you. Eventually, you're going to wake up one year and your portfolio is going to grow by $20,000, $40,000, $60,000. And you're going to realize, again, that your investments are making more money than you personally contribute. That's when the game starts changing and now the cards are stacked on your side. That's why I'm trying to be aggressive now while I'm still young. And I'm investing $2,000 a month like I just talked about a few videos ago. I know future me is going to benefit from the decisions that I'm making today. Becoming financially free probably won't happen from one massive decision. It's going to come from hundreds of small decisions repeated over and over again for years. So that's all I have for this video. Let me know down in the comments if you are working towards gaining your financial freedom earlier, and let me know what you're doing right now to prioritize that. As always, thanks for everyone who stayed till the end of the video, and thank you for everyone supporting this channel. We are building a really strong community here, and I love it. I'll catch everyone in the next one. Peace.